It's showtime, folks. Welcome in, Chase and Big Joe, 125-1063, the game here on this Friday. We are live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes, and it is finally the first round of the NFL draft is done. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane Nick Frazier is on the ones and twos. And JoJo, I am excited. You're excited. Cam Ward is now a Tennessee Titan.
Oh man, you may be glad that's over there, not with me, man.
I want to know, Dr. Crane, is there a hole in the ceiling now?
No, I'm
Okay.
not sure what you guys are referring to.
Oh, did you not hear the air horn?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, dang, I thought it worked.
I heard it. Does that mean he didn't hear
Did it not go over the air?
Play it again. Oh no, yeah, I heard it. Oh yeah.
I was like, I thought it worked.
Oh my goodness! How many you got over there? You can.
Oh,
play?
we got a few. We got our beautiful studio audience with us today. Hello, folks. How you doing? Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, ma'am. Sit down, please.
Ooh,
Thank you.
loud today.
Yes, they are.
Rambunctious.
They're feeling good. So yeah, we got a few things over here. Shedeur Sanders did not get drafted last night. So he will.
Man.
Does he end up in Cleveland?
All I kept thinking was somebody tweeted out last night and says, "What's the biblical verse? The son pays for the sins of the father."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, that sums it up perfectly." I don't know. This is truly a thing where nobody wants to deal with his dad, or maybe him, maybe both of them.
Well, I mean, the report that came out was that he was kind of an ass when he went to the combine, and really everything went sideways in Indy because he was just like making people late and basically like, you're on my time, kiss the ring and all that stuff.
I don't want that. I thought maybe the Saints would grab him at 9. I was like, they need it because of the Derek Carr thing that came out yesterday, but they didn't do it, and so. But anyway, the Titans got who they wanted at 1, but man, when you texted me about that trade, the Giants allegedly proposed, that just sent me that down a rabbit hole. What's that?
It's Shedeur Sanders, and it says round 2. No, yeah, I know. I mean, I knew you wouldn't like it, but it is what it is. So,
I mean, the Giants offered all that up.
Can I? But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are you not happy that they made a decision and stuck with it?
Sure.
Like, I mean, Borganti basically said, we decided this a while ago, and we were all on the same page that this is what we were going to do.
Okay, good. If they feel good, they know more about this than I do. I never said he wasn't a talent.
Yeah.
I just said use that as leverage to get more other talent. But
no, and I get it.
Now that you got him, then you ride with him. Somewhere, some way, Borganti's got to be thinking he's Mahomes-ish in the way he plays, the way he can ad-lib, the way he can improv, the way he can do after a play breaks down. If they believe in him that much, and Borganti knows that, I mean, he saw Mahomes when he came into the league, I'm all board.
Yeah.
They're not going to say that because they don't want the comparison. But
and he kind of touched on it a little bit last night, and he was very careful how he worded it. And said, like, I'm not comparing him to Patrick, but he was like, but these are some of the traits that I see that remind me of Patrick.
All right, so what do you do now at 35?
Therein lies the question.
Get him a safety valve, get him a good tight end to depend on. We talk about that all week.
I think there's a couple of different options you can take. You can take the edge rusher or the receiver that's there that you have on your board. Or I think, if Shedeur doesn't go to Cleveland at 33, then you might be in a spot that there's a team that's willing to move up to 35 to take him. Now, clearly they're passing on him for a reason, but it might give you some wiggle room. I think you could trade back. Jared had a good thought last night of trading back to 39, which is Chicago, because Chicago has 39 and like 42, something like that. If you move back to 39, get, some other picks, you could probably still grab Jaden Higgins or one of those edge rushers at 39, move back 4 spots, and then you have extra picks.
So what did you get back from them? They're 42?
No, I think you're swapping 39 and 35, and then you're probably getting a third out of them.
Okay. If you think this guy's going to be there at 39, why would the Bears do that?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It
Bears.
depends on what they want
That guy.
and what they need. So, that's my thought. So, Chris Sanders is going to join us at 10 o'clock. He was on our draft show. I do want to take a moment to shout out Jared Stillman, Derek Mason, Chris Sanders, and ESPN's Trevor Matich. They did a fantastic job last night. I was watching ESPN, but I was listening and watching our show. Great analysis. Jared tried to have his meltdown. It wasn't quite like it was in years past, but when he heard the potential trade package for number one, he was beating his head against the table a little bit. But I think ultimately, now's the time for everybody to be on board with Cam Ward, or as my mom called him, Cam Ford.
How's old Cam Ford doing today, man?
Yeah. So I get a text from my mother last night, who I love very, very much, that said, I forgot the Titans had the first pick. Is that tick bite looking okay? Because I had a tick bite on my arm. I said, yes, they do. Yes, it's good. And then she goes, who is Cam Ford? So being a smartass, I said, I don't know, but Cam Ward is the quarterback the Titans are going to draft.
Oh, why would you do that to me?
She was like, this is my mom. She was like, oh, that's who I meant. Like, my mom's very invested.
Well, how is the tick bite?
It's good. Yeah, it's fine.
How'd you know it was a tick bite?
Because there was a tick hanging off me and I pulled it off.
Gross. Where were you?
The farm.
I know you weren't out working in the yard, but how did you?
Actually, I was out working in the yard.
Did you get the
How'd
head
you know you
out?
Yeah, I got it out. Yeah, I got it all taken care of because I mean I live in the woods basically.
I get it. Yeah,
There's ticks everywhere.
you and Ricky out walking,
No, I was mowing the grass
and then a tick just hopped up on your shoulder or your
on
arm.
my arm, the back of my arm.
So did you? I'm fascinated by this now. Why do you do this to me? I feel like, by the way, I feel like I'm in detention here. I'm to the corner and the side of the Omni. Did you scratch it and there it was, or what? Or did you feel a pain?
I felt like an itch, and then I like reached over there where it was, and I could feel it, and then I looked in the mirror, and I was like, oh, there it is. Got the tweezers, got him out.
And that tick was like, ah, there goes my Zaxby's.
Yep, basically.
Oh my God.
Zaxby's. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. If you want to weigh in on what we're talking about today, Cam Ward is the Tennessee Titans' new quarterback. Now, I didn't hear anything that they said he's our starter, which they don't need to say that right now.
No.
I mean, anything that they say needs to be like, we're going to go through the process and get him in here and all that stuff. Like even, when the Giants traded back up into the first round and got Jackson Dart, Daboll said Russell Wilson's our starter, which was the right thing to say.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
you don't need to put all that extra pressure on,
but we know
on the kid, right? Well, of course we know.
We know. We do. I mean, now you've got a couple of mini camps to work with him. He'll be here in, all through May, June, July, and then hit the ground running and then throw everything at him. Get the preseason. He's got to play in the preseason. None of this garbage 2 series. Let him play in the preseason. Hopefully have a joint practice with somebody the Titans will this year. Hopefully they do that. That's when you get really good work. And I'd throw him out there. I mean, I would throw him out there in every situation possible and see what he does. So by the time that game 1 rolls around in September, he's good to go. But now the question is, I heard Robbie and Rexford talk about this, which is by the way, my favorite radio show.
That is your favorite show, yeah.
Love Robbie and I love. Yeah. I mean, just the insight that Joe Rexrode gives almost makes me want to subscribe to The Athletic.
I'm gonna set up like a celebrity boxing match between you and Rexrode.
No, you're not. I love Rexrode. He'll beat me up, man. The Will Levis thing now I'm fascinated by. Your tick bite and Will Levis are fascinating. So what do you do?
So I think you try and trade Will Levis. I think if you can get something for Levis, you go ahead and move on.
What if you don't get anything for him?
So you just cut him?
How much dead money is that?
I don't know. I mean, if you got to cut him, I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's the detriment to Ward for him to be on the roster.
I totally agree.
'cause,
Totally agree.
You know, there's just going to be animosity, and it's like,
I don't think Will and Tehran had a good point today too. I don't think Will Levis is the kind of guy that's going to upset the apple cart.
no, I don't either. But I
It's
think
just awkward.
the it's going to be in the room.
Yeah,
There's going to be a giant mayonnaise eating elephant sitting in the room.
yeah,
that's-
just staring at you.
yeah. So
Or when you have practice evaluation and Cam misses a play and Levis is snickering in the background. No, we don't need that around there, right? So they can get 7th round for him. Good. That 7th rounder never pans out, so it's basically just the same as cutting somebody. But yeah, I think that's boom.
615-737-1025. So now the question is, what do you do at 35? We'll discuss some of that and our thoughts with that. The draft first round is in the books, and also there's a big trade in the for the second pick.
Yeah,
that is going to haunt the Titans for several years, I believe. We'll discuss that and much more. We're live today at the Omni Nashville Hotel, proud sponsor of our show here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
It's built around Cam look like, and how does that differ from what Titans fans saw last year?
We'll get into that, as we get moving. But there's some things that he did in college that he was really successful at. There's some plays that we have some commonalities on. I think if you dive into the film, you'll see it. There's definitely some carryover concepts. Cam is a pocket passing drop back quarterback. I mean, he's got all of the things that you need to do those, to run those concepts, to see the field, to read through progressions. So there's some carryover from some things that we do and he's done. We'll make sure that all of the offense that we put in is the things that he's comfortable with, and that's the idea. When you're trying to help a young quarterback be successful, he's got a long way to go though. He's got to earn it. He's got to earn those reps and those rights to have all that input and that dialogue. But I have no doubt that he'll do the requisite work.
That's Titans head coach Brian Callahan last night talking about getting Cam Ward in the mix, as he is now a member of the Titans and one of the quarterbacks. I do like how he worded that he's got to earn it. Chasing Big Joe here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. He's got to earn the opportunity. You're not going to anoint him by any means, because that does him no good and it does you no good. But we all know week 1, when they play, which May 14th, we find out the schedule. Week 1, when the NFL puts him against Mike Vrabel and the Patriots, it's going to be Cam Ward.
Did he say the same thing about Will Levis last year too? Got to earn it.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah. Look, we know. Don't make us feel stupid. You know what's going to happen. Work his butt off. Let him, don't go through the fire, but he's your guy. If he's not your guy on game 1, you got problems. If you're rolling Brandon Allen or front of the show Tim Boyle out there.
Well, look, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you.
Be honest.
If they came out today and said, hey, we're going to, Brandon Allen's our starter, you're basically saying we're going to suck this year, but I would be okay with it. I'd be fine with it.
No,
I would be fine with it.
Throw him out there. Throw him out
They're
there.
not going to do what I'm saying, but I would be okay if they did.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're basically, it's like Floyd said, hey, everybody, this is Steve McNair. Get a good look. Get a good look. You're not going to see him again for another year or two.
1 year or two.
Yeah.
I turned on the radio yesterday and I heard that clip. I was on Jared's show, and I heard that. That's the first thing I heard. And I started laughing with all that. No, that's a different time now, man. I know Jordan Love did it for the Packers for a few years, but desperate teams need desperate things and desperate measures, and they need to start just throw them out there, man. Throw them out there and figure it out along the way, and then you learn by mistake. I mean, look, how do you learn anything in life? By
doing it, yeah, and by failing,
yeah.
Right. So I mean, look, that was always my point, and what I tell young broadcasters, that like, hey, you know how you learn how to do something? By doing it, and you're not going to do it well to start. I mean, you're going to mess up.
Could you imagine when you started there in 2012, they gave you a 3-hour radio show?
I would, which is what I wanted,
Right.
because every young person's like, oh, I got this, I would have crashed and burned
Big time.
But, to the credit of Jeremy and, yourself and Darren, people, Willie, that kind of took me under their wings. It's like I got eased into it. So
we're like coaches.
Ryan and I did a 2-hour show on Saturday mornings, much like the Force Company guys are doing now. And that was our first kind of, actually I did a NASCAR show, that I recorded. And then I did the 2-hour show on Saturday mornings, and it was,
so you learned along the way.
I learned, I realized, but what was so funny is that first show, like I was so amped up, and it was, our first interview was Peter Laviolette. He had just gotten hired, as the Preds coach.
Oh, no.
And I opened the show saying the Peter Laviolette era is over, and I meant to say has begun.
Oh God.
But it's like you learn those things.
Did he
as
laugh?
you go. But no, I mean, it was a recorded interview. Ryan laughed. Ryan about fell out of his chair. But
you're 5 years ahead of the curve, so give you credit for that.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I used my opportunities, and there were people that didn't want me to have opportunities, and didn't believe in you have to learn by doing it. They believed you had to go to market 800 and work your way up.
You're like a little Cam Ward. You're like a little.
I am a little
story
Cam
here.
Ward. Yeah,
Okay.
no, or maybe he's a little Chase McCabe. Come on.
But it does make you feel good though when you hear the Giants want him so bad. They're pretty
Yeah.
much willing to give up Manhattan to take him.
But so with that, and like you can be mad that they didn't take the deal. Jared can be mad they didn't take the deal. You can sit here and go, oh, it would have fixed so many things. What if taking Cam Ward turns out to be the right move? What if he's the guy? I mean, look, I'm telling you, the way he carries himself, I'm in. I'm hooked because he is just he seems like a really good young man. He's been raised right, you know. I always pay attention when people get up there and they thank God first. He's one of those guys, and he did that. I mean, he was emotional. Like, you showed how hard he had worked and how much he wanted it. And that's the kind of guy you want. And like I know there were other players last night that got drafted that were doing that, but there was just something about him that I just was really impressed by.
I was going to do the Homer Simpson. If you should,
Why don't you marry him?
why don't you just marry him, Chase? No, look, they're all in now. Let's go. Now you got to build around him. You got an offensive line that you hope is a lot better than last year. So there you go. But we talked today. You brought a good point up. Got to have that safety valve. Do you bring a receiver in with him? You bring a tight end draft with him. Somebody they can start on the same page together. I like that. I would not be mad at 35 tonight if they take the best available tight end that's out there.
Yeah,
to me, that's
sure.
somebody to be buddy with.
Now everything you do has to be to help him and
Everything.
build around him. Even the defense. Like adding to the
Exactly.
defense is you're helping the quarterback.
Yep. Keep building around that. And, if you go all the offenses draft, that's fine. Just you're taking care of things that you need to take care of. There's so many holes on this football team. They're not going to be filled from last night. So you go ahead and you plug guys in. They get a quarterback. If you get a tight end in there, get an extra receiver in there, and then go that way. And then you're building a little foundation. Pollard's still relatively young. Cam's young. Get some young receivers in here and build this team. And that's how you got to go. I mean, remember the 05 Titans team 20 years ago was awful. They let Derek go after the 04 season, and a lot of the guys in 05 was bad. Didn't find their footing, but there are more holes in 05 than this team has right now in 25.
Yeah, I mean, the defense for this team, obviously they need help in the middle and they need a pass rusher. But the defense is okay. The defense you have some pieces in place. Now we'll see about Lavarius Sneed and his knees and the other stuff. But Dustin in Hopkinsville says, heard they're playing Levis at tight end. He goes, no, I got Ward's back. I do, but I'm not giving this organization credit if he excels. I'm blaming this organization if he's a bust. I do like what I have seen from his mom and dad last night. I do like the guy. Sell me on the development.
Okay.
I get what you're saying, Dustin. I do. And it's hard for me to trust this organization after what they've done, the last few years, but maybe we're going to find out that Ran was not the right guy, which I think we kind of know that. Like Ran, but as a GM, Borgonzi is.
Right.
Brinker doing whatever he does.
We don't know what that is.
And maybe Callahan's a better coach than we gave him credit for. Again, we have seen
I'm willing to see it happen.
We have seen coaches in year 2 really bounce back from year 1.
Right, Jeff Fisher. Can you hit the soundboard? We got local celebrities weighing in.
We got a what you want applause or
you tell me. All right. Local celebrity Nick Barris is weighing in.
okay. Hi, Mick.
He says should have taken the deal. He's the best quarterback in a weak draft. If Ward busts, everyone involved will be fired. And then he says, hope he is great, but doubt it. Idiocy not taking the deal. Titans would have 2 1s next year. He ain't wrong. But I just, is that what was offered? I mean, that's Schefter reported on it, but that was the only one. Thank you, Nick Barris, for weighing in on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but I mean, now what's done is done. So you got to hope the kid succeeds.
It's another Marge Simpson drop. What's done is done. You are correct. Now you just got to get now the Titans on the other side. Teams know that they're desperate for no more players. I wouldn't trade with them at all.
Skylar says sitting in a developing sitting and developing the quarterback would be smart. Throwing him out there with the Wolves this year with this bleepy roster is how you fail a young quarterback. Look at Mahomes, Jordan Love, Brady, develop the quarterback. I mean, again, in a perfect world, that's what I'm doing.
But nobody wants that. You don't want to sit on.
Let me ask you this: what are the Giants going to do now that they've said Russell Wilson's going to be the starter, but they have Jackson Dart? Are they going to keep Winston? Are they going to keep 3 quarterbacks?
Probably not. Probably not.
If Winston's out there, they're not going to do this. I'm just saying what ifs. Like if everybody's uncomfortable with Brandon Allen, do you go get Winston and just say, hey, this is what we're going to do?
That's a good point. I mean, you got to. He's on your team now.
Mahomes is the GOAT now and the gold standard. Mahomes sat for a year, but they had Alex Smith. They had a good team. That was the difference.
Yeah.
That they still had a playoff team with Alex Smith.
That's a good question, man.
This team is not in that situation.
No,
the Patriot, you can't compare him to Brady because nobody freaking knew Brady was going to be Brady.
Well, what happens?
He was a
Bledsoe
6th-round pick.
does not get injured.
We never see Tom Brady.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Yeah,
we never see Tom Brady.
It's all a great point, man. But look, and I agree with what you said about Nick. What's done is done. But now, what do you got to do now? How do you help him? Help him by this pick at 35 tonight. Yeah. I think it needs an offensive pick. I think it needs to be a tight end or receiver. It's got to be.
Do you ever think about, like, when you watch
all the time,
when you watch the UFL and you see these washed up quarterbacks or whatever, most of the time, like, you know why they're there. They weren't good enough to play in the league. But do you ever wonder if there is like a guy that just never got an opportunity and he might have been as good, a Brady type, but he just never got the shot?
Always. But the problem is, are you going to rest your future on an unknown like that at the
no, you're not. You're not.
Now, 25 years ago, yeah, you could, wait a year to Kurt Warner, perfect example. Rich Gannon, a good example. They're examples of guys who bounced around waiting for their opportunity, man. But now in today's age of now, win, it ain't gonna happen. That's why I think Amy Adams is not gonna sit along while we're gonna bench him for a little bit and see what happens. No. I'm
paying what with him?
Bench him. we're gonna bench him for just a little bit.
I was impressed. She was there last night.
In Green Bay?
No, she was in the war room over at the facility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she picked up the phone. Hey, Cam, this is Miss Amy.
Did she say that?
Yeah. Well, she said, "Hey, Cam, are you excied?"
Cam's like, "Who this?"
No, he said, like, "Hi, Miss Amy."
He's like,
you know what I like too? That he's very, very proper, very nice. Mr. Mike, Miss Amy, like, it's like, it's very nice.
Good. Real quick, I know the draft was with Green Bay last night, and it's coming back here. It ain't coming back here for 25 more years. That was a massive crowd last night. They turned that city around.
Well, I just got a press release that it's coming here.
Yeah, NFL.
It's just kidding.
I mean, it looked great when the sun went down and watching those guys walk on the stage. I mean, there's 100,000 people there.
And the shot of Lambeau and like people inside Lambeau. That was pretty cool.
It looked good.
It was pretty cool. You know what? You know what will never, ever happen that I really wish would happen?
God, I have an answer, but I'd be fired.
Please don't. I would love for them to play a Super Bowl at Lambeau.
Oh,
in the snow and they'll never do it because they don't have the infrastructure, but like it would be so freaking
well
cool.
They won't do it is because they're not doing it for you or me. They're doing it for the like Coca-Cola and
Ford
right
and the TV and all
the
that.
sponsors
right.
and party and this and that. So it'd be great. No, I'm with
you.
The
time to do it would have been COVID. That would have been the time to do it. When things were like, you could have told Tampa, like, hey, we're gonna give it to you, when you can have full capacity. We're gonna go play this thing at Lambeau. Like how cool would that have been?
That would have been nice, yeah. But they got lucky. They didn't MetLife Stadium in 2013 season.
Yeah. I mean, they've done it in New York and all that stuff. But 615-737-1025. We will continue to. Nobody's saying it's Dustin. Nobody's saying it's staying in Green Bay. They're bouncing it around year after year.
Dustin, come on, man.
He goes, dude, it's not staying in Green Bay. Not enough business there. Like,
you know where it is next year?
I don't. Where is it next year?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. They're going to each. I like that they're going to the cities. Like that. That's cool. 615-737-1025. You can continue to weigh in on Cam Ward and the draft, what to do at 35. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes, and Dr. Crane is back at the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service.
Hi, Cam.
Hey, Miss Amy, how you doing?
Are you excited?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
We're so happy for you. We're so proud of you. Welcome to
Appreciate
the
you.
Titans and welcome to Tennessee. Everybody's so excited.
So happy together.
Well done, Dr. Crane. That was the draft call that they put on Twitter and the Titan social media last night. Look, it is exciting. I'm happy for the young man. He was basically a 0-star recruit out of high school.
Yep.
Goes to Incarnate Word, then to Washington State, and then finally Miami. And now he's the number 1 overall pick in the NFL. It's a pretty amazing story. We're live today at the Omni Nashville Hotel, chasing Big Joe. Here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Our friends at Music City Bets have reported
Love those people.
that according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, Cam Ward has opened up as the favorite to win Rookie of the Year at plus 330.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh man, that's crazy, man.
What if he does? What if he
Good.
does win it?
Good.
Be great.
Now, now the pick is in. Let's kind of hone in on what he needs. I mean, there's things he needs. Hopefully that O-line is good. Hopefully they get another receiver that can help out. I mean, again, when we talk about this, you just got to be better than 3 other teams. That's
Sure.
it. That's it. You get in the playoffs and anything can happen. But this whole, we're going to see work, how it shapes out. If he's a starter in September, no, don't lie to us. Just, we know what's going to happen. Now help the young man out in any way you can. Help him out and go forward and get it done. I mean, it's just, you go back, the draft choice they've had since 2020, Isaiah Wilson, Caleb Farley, Traylon Burks, Skoronski. I still Latham could turn into something. And now, you got to keep building, and now you got your piece to build around for years to come. And hopefully he's that guy. What I do like about him, though, Chase, is the fact that you said earlier, 0 stars. He showed out at a camp. Incarnate Ward took him, and they're like, oh, there's something here. Washington State took him 2 years, lit it up there, and goes to Miami last year and lights it up. And it just continued the progress, continue getting better. And he's learned through 3 different offenses and nobody believing in him. And now here he is. It's a great story, man.
It is. It's a fantastic story. Chip from Mount Juliet. Bud Adams. VY is my guy. Amy Adams Strunk. Cam is my man.
Yeah.
Ron says Brian Callahan should be guaranteed 2 years with Cam no matter what, or Amy hasn't learned anything. I agree with that. You can't fire the coach. If wins should not matter. The record should not matter this year.
Get out of here.
It shouldn't matter this year because you're developing the quarterback. If that's the direction that you're going with this organization and that's what you've decided as the owner, you got to stick to that.
Okay.
Now, the exception that I'll give you, if you're losing every game 49-0, then okay. But if you're in some close games and you don't quite have enough to get there.
So you think it's okay to send a message to Titans fans, we're not going to be any good. Sorry.
I think it's okay to send a message that you're rebuilding because that's exactly what you're doing.
So
whether you want to be or not, that's what you're doing.
So you don't want mention of let's win the Super Bowl. Is that the goal?
No.
Is that the goal?
But
if
but
you
that's
tell me,
stupid.
if you tell me we're not going to focus on the Super Bowl this year, why the hell am I playing?
Jeff,
Why am I playing?
It's dumb to get up there if you're Brian Callahan and say, hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, because we all know that's a bunch of bull.
Okay.
We know that that's not going to happen.
So what do you want to say instead? We're going to be really bad this year?
No,
We're 2-50,
you say like,
they'll
hey,
fire me?
we're really excited about our new young quarterback. We're building around him. We're going to develop him. He's going to have some highs. He's going to have some lows, but we're going to be there to bring him up, and we're trying to put the best team around him possible. And that's what we're doing right now.
You just gave me 9 seconds of psychobabble. I don't need to hear
what
that.
That's what they're going to say. It's what they need to say
I don't
because
need to
that's
hear that.
what it is right now.
I want to hear a coach come and say, hell yeah, we got our quarterback. We're going to win some ball games now. Let's do this. I don't want to hear that nonsense.
So you want to live in a non-realistic world.
This is not non-realistic. You can't tell me a coach can't get up there and say, look, we got our guy. We're going to fight like hell to win every game, and our end goal is get to the Super Bowl. I want to hear a coach say that. I don't want him to get up and say, well, this year, maybe next year, but in 3 years, hell, I might die today. I don't want that. I want a coach to step there and say, we're going to fight every single day to get better and win ball games. And
That's
turn this
okay.
thing around.
Okay.
I want that.
That's fine, but don't say we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Is
you're
that not
not.
the goal?
But you're not going to win it.
Don't you want to win the Super Bowl? We're going to win the Super Bowl.
Of course, I want them to win the Super Bowl.
Fight like
You're not
hell.
winning it this year.
Damn you! I'm going to give you Tony Robbins tapes. You need to start believing. What'd you do with all the Joel Osteen tapes I gave you? They're still on the shelf, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Lenny says you should have not gotten Cam because now you can't fire the coach. They should have traded the coach and then got the quarterback.
I hear that a lot. That's a great text.
Well, you can't. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to trade for him. But here we go. 2438. The Cam Ward story is not impressive at all. He's not that good of a quarterback.
Well, I mean, he's the all-time leading passer. And I know, well, so is Timmy Ching or Tim Rattay at Louisiana Tech. I get all that stuff. Guy's got talent. Every other team pretty much, and the Giants wanted him, and everybody was on board with taking him. And I get that. But we're comparing him to Manning and Aikman and all that stuff. It's unfair because the number one pick, how it turns out. That's unfair. Let it ride, see what happens.
All right. This is a text I was looking for. What do you think about this? A252. I'm sure the organization is very risk averse right now, so it won't happen. But to me, Will Johnson is a must take at 35. He's the corner. If you can possibly get a top 5 talent in the second round, you got to take the risk. There's worries about the knees, and I think it was an ACL, but he basically has fallen to the second round because teams are worried about something.
Then don't take him.
I'm kind of with. I would love to because I do think he's very talented, but with the other holds that they have, if you get a third round pick and he's still there in the third round, we can talk. But
okay. I think at 35 right now, I think you need to put one piece next to Cam Ward, whether it's a tight end or receiver.
100.
Well, get an edge rusher right now. I think just get somebody that hey man, good to see you, good being here, and then go. Whether it's a tight end or receiver, and if Luther Burden is there, why is Luther Burden dropped? From Mizzou, why is he?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people had him dropping into the second round.
Well, top-rated receivers going into the
attitude, I guess. I don't know.
You
got attitude.
Your attitude some days is bad. I don't get on you. I don't demote you.
And well, you can't.
Top story. That's 5. Me crushing your face.
615-737-1025.
But you got that whole soundboard over there. And you've played 2 soundboards, 2 whatever. What's the bottom right? The blue one. Yeah. You held that out the entire time. Damn you.
Here's my favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joe Dubin. Feel like you're on like a late night talk show.
I do like that.
I don't have a fader on it, so.
Oh man. The only one that gets on my nerves is the wah. No, don't do it.
On my end, it sounds like the vibration of the building every time that Corey happens.
It's a record scratch. We have them all. Oh, here, Jared would use this one a lot. Into fantasy land. 615-737-1025. We'll continue the discussion. Keep the text coming. A lot of you weighing in on this. You can also call 615-737-1025. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game.
Hi, Cam. Are you excited?
I
Yeah.
hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
We're so happy for you. We're so proud of you. Welcome to
Appreciate
the
you.
Titans and welcome to Tennessee. Everybody's so excited.
Now give me a kiss.
I was like, did we just hear this? With Chase and Big Joe. 1025 1063 the game.
Man.
On this Friday, we're at Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Always enjoy being here and thank them for having us. Hey, this week's Nashville's best deal is Fog Street Lawn Club, Nashville's premier soccer pub and rooftop. Fog Street Lawn Club offers scrumptious bites, British lawn bowling, and premier soccer pub vibes. Dr. Crane would love that. Get half off a $30 gift card. Now go to theGameNashville.com/deals and dive into the ultimate rooftop experience. So check that out. Let's go to the phones. Trey has been waiting patiently and wants to weigh in on Shedeur Sanders and the draft. Trey, what's up?
Hey guys, how y'all doing today?
Wonderful, sir.
Hey, I just want to say that there's two things that I remember from last night, and that is Shedeur Sanders going over and the Mel Kiper Jr. going over, and Jared hit more times than Mel Kiper Jr. last night, and that's all I want to say. And do y'all think that Shedeur will go in the first half of the second round today? Thank you.
I
Have a
think
good
he goes.
day.
Thanks, Trey. Thanks, Trey. I think he goes 33 to Cleveland. That's what I think.
Oh, he hung up. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was waiting.
No, I think he goes. I think he goes to Cleveland.
Why?
They need a quarterback in the future. So, I mean, you're gonna ride like Deshaun has probably played his last snap, if I had to guess, and you're gonna ride Joe Flacco.
Didn't they have Kenny Pickett too?
Yeah, I think they got Pickett as well.
He's from Pickett County.
Yeah.
I look. I think he's a good quarterback, but now, as I've told you, I'm here for the chaos.
Sure.
Let's let him keep on falling down, because there's a lot of guys who analysts whose heads are going to explode if he doesn't go soon, right? So he keeps dropping down and dropping down and dropping down. It was a storyline. I mean,
What if Shiloh Sanders got drafted before Shedeur?
I mean, it's become the biggest story now. And yeah, I mean, again, people think it's a headache. And you talk about what he did at the draft, how he turned people off, and all the things that go on with it. Yeah, the combine. Sorry. So I just let it keep going. I don't want to deal with headaches.
Yeah.
Injured players, headaches. I'm not doing that.
I feel you. Eric wants to weigh in on Cam Ward. Eric, what's up? Eric, hello.
Eric, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, Eric.
Hey. It is me, Joe. Hey, I was going to say real quickly before I get to Cam, I was surprised when y'all had Paul Feinbaum on. Y'all didn't get to him about the fact that when he was on the air, he thought he was talking to a caller. He was actually in the middle of a thing where a doctor was talking to a patient about a surgical procedure. I'm surprised y'all didn't get to that. But anyway,
I missed that one.
Job, Chase.
Yeah. Look it up. Look it up on video. You'll find it. Guys, as far as Cam, one of the things, we get into so many narratives that I just think drives me nuts. And people say, oh, he's going to be a bust. He's not going to do well. But then I hear other people already comparing him to like Steve McNair, comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. I've even heard a few people think that he'll have the same impact on this team this year that Jaden Daniels had on Washington last year. I'd love that, but I just don't want to raise the expectations too high. I'm hoping that everything works out, guys. I mean, I want them to do well. I want this organization to do well. And I agree. I just don't think if things don't happen well this first year, you can't fire Callahan, guys. That'll be the fourth straight year we fired somebody, but we'll see what happens. Guys, it's always good to talk to you guys.
No.
Yeah.
I have a bone to pick with you. All right.
Okay.
Gene Shalit is not dead.
Okay.
You called us and said Gene Shalit was dead, and we're like, oh, poor Gene. He's not dead. So I need to, Eric, we love you. I need to say, I'm sorry, Gene Shalit's alive.
I'm telling you guys, I'm serious. I saw a thing on the Today Show saying that he had passed on. I'm not making that up about a couple of years ago. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize if he's not dead. But believe I saw something on the Today Show a couple years ago where he had passed away. So I'm
He's
thinking that he's
alive.
been.
And he's a friend of ours, and I sent him the clip from the show, and he's like,
Oh, shut up, Joe.
and he's that SO, you know what? And I'm like, hey, man.
Eric, don't
Yeah.
listen to him. He's messing with you.
Joe, I want you to go there and tell you that. I'll just let you know, because I remember another person you said was still alive that had passed away.
Oh, we're not going back with my mistakes. We'll be here for the next 9 hours. You finally made one after 9 years, and I've got to get to that. So we appreciate you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, y'all take care.
Oh, my goodness. That will do it for hour number 1. Chris Sanders, who was on our draft show last night, he will join us coming up next. We'll talk to him about this and much more. Chasing Big Joe live at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 1025, 1063 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game on this Friday. Live today at Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. The Titans select Cameron Ward, the quarterback out of Miami, with the number 1 overall pick in the first round last night. Chris Sanders, forever Titans wide receiver, was on our draft show, draft night in Nashville, and did a fantastic job with Jared D. Mace and Trevor Maddich. Chris, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm a little sleepy, man. That was a long night, but man, just some exciting things that, went with the Tennessee Titans, but also some crazy things that happened in the draft. So I'm glad to be a part of it, brother.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's just start with the young quarterback. I heard you guys debating the trade that that the Giants reportedly offered, and I think you were on the side of you would have taken it, but they didn't. They like this kid. They have said that they had made their mind up weeks ago that he was going to be the guy. So now you got to build around him. What are your thoughts on Cam Ward?
You know what's so funny is, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I think I kind of changed my mind a little bit, and I'm going to tell you why. Because yesterday, when they was telling us what the Giants wanted, what they were going to give him first round, all this, so I'm like, man, take it. But as of listening to this guy speak, listen to his interview, this guy has a clear-cut vision of what he wants to do. This is what he said. He wasn't flashy about it. He wasn't being cocky. He said this. He said, I'm ready to get to work. I mean, I know everybody says that, but when you have a young guy that wants to get to work, that wants to prove himself, that wants to be the face of this franchise, that made me fall in love with him yesterday or this morning by listening to his interview. So, yes, yesterday, I would have said, give it up and take the number ones from the Giants. But at the end of the day, the Tennessee Titans love something that they saw, and they saw greatness.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I mean, I was telling Joe that, I got no evidence to say he's going to ball out and be, one of the greatest of all time. I love how he carries himself. You can tell that this is a kid that appreciates it, that has earned it. He went from being not recruited out of high school to being the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. I mean, he's humble. And, the other thing, too, is like you look at and I don't mean this in a bad way. Like, if you're getting drafted, I get it. You want to show out. Like, you want to be dressed to the nines and all that stuff. He looked nice last night, but he wasn't, like, covered in, gold chains or like I don't know how much his suit cost, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he comes across as very just, like, kind of a real – laid back guy, thanking God and his mama and all that stuff. And I was with you. I was kind of like, all right, I like this kid.
But the funny part about it is, I was with my wife yesterday, and we were just driving, whatever. And she said, I like this kid, and she knows zero about football. And the reason why she says she likes this kid is because he came out, just like you said, with no jury, no running around, no dancing, no crazy stuff. He just said, I'm ready to get to work. Every question they asked him, it was so precise. So, when you have a kid that's precise with his answers and thinking about what he's going to say, you can tell that he processes everything that he does. So when you have a guy like that that's coming into your franchise, that the pressure's on, everybody's looking at you, the way he's handling all the stuff that's going on. I'm not talking about, football yet. I'm just talking about, just handling all the things that's coming to him. So I'm excited about the pick. At first I was like, we can get in a couple of number ones. But this is what the Tennessee Titans want to build. They want to build around your quarterback and have him lead to the promised land.
Talk with Chris Sanders on the Chasing Big Joe show. Dr. Craig,
man.
Here's your song. Right? We don't want no scrubs, right? Just letting it go. There you go. We don't know.
That's what the Titans said to all them other quarterbacks.
Yeah, we good now. We don't want that.
We good. Yes, sir.
All right, so they got 35 tonight, and so Chase started talking about building around Cam and having a camaraderie by drafting a receiver. Your relationship with Steve McNair was unique because you guys came in the same draft class. Would you have had that same kind of bond had you come in a year before or a year later?
No, it's good that we came in at the same time, because I had a chance to watch Steve McNair grow, not just as a man, but just as a player. I watched him come in and struggle a little bit in practice, but then I watched him get better and better. And and I think it was in 1996 I caught his first touchdown. So when you have a guy like that, we got drafted again, we did some things again, he throws me his first touchdown. Just watching him grow as a player, and then later on down the road win the MVP. But the one thing I love about Steve McNair is he had a quiet confidence about himself. I mean, he was calm, cool, and collective. He wasn't a rah-rah guy. He was a guy that said, okay, you know what? I'm going to lead by example. And I'm not comparing Cam Ward to Steve McNair, but there's some similarities of just the cool confidence, understanding that I can go get the job done.
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, that's why we're saying if you get somebody who can bring in at 35, a good receiver out there who could grow with Cam, and they're on the same page, and that guy becomes like his safety valve, where the relationship like you and Steve had. I just think let's build around this guy now. Now that you're out on him, let's build with him.
But you know what's so funny is there's a couple of guys that I like, and it's Luther Burden. Everybody loves him, Jaden Higgins, and I like Jack Beck from TCU, but you said something so profound. What if he go gets Kyler Williams from Washington State? He played with him. He's familiar with him.
Yeah.
He understands them. They played together. They practiced together. They did those things. So I know everybody's loving Luther Burden, which is a phenomenal athlete. But then you bring in somebody that Cam Ward knows. So now instantly the relationship's there. Instantly the communication is there. So with Luther Burden, he doesn't really know him. He has to get to know him as opposed to actually knowing him right away.
Here's my thing, Chris. When I look at the receivers that are available, there's some good ones, but unless you get Jaden Higgins, maybe Trey Harris or Luther Burden, you're going to have to get a 3rd-round pick, because I think Beck, Jalen Royals, Kyle Williams, they're all going to be in that 3rd-round range. So I think that's what they're faced with. If they get to 35 and Higgins or Burden are there and they have them, at that point on their board, I think you got to take them. And then you figure the rest out later.
You have to. I mean, look at this receiver room right now. You got Calvin Ridley. They just signed Tyler Lockett. They signed him, and then you got some other guys. You add one of these guys like Luther Burden to the picture. Now you got a receiver room that went from okay to being pretty good. I know Luther Burden has to understand the tricks and trades of being a wide receiver in the NFL. He'll learn that. He'll learn from the coaches. He'll learn from his quarterback. But if you get some studs in there like that, you went from a receiver room to being okay to maybe having explosive guys that can not just take the top off the defense, but that'll put some scaredness in some defensive opponents.
But what if you get there and Burden's gone, but Mike Green or Donovan Ezraku are there? I think you got to take one of them.
Oh, you have to, especially because the Titans need an edge rusher, the guy from Boston College. If you look at what he did last year, that joker from Boston College had 16 sacks last year. 16 sacks. So you're talking about a guy with a motor, with him with Sweat, and then Simmons. That front could be really, really nasty. So here's the great thing about what we're talking about at 35. There's so many things. There's so many possibilities that can happen. They can end up with an edge rusher. They can end up with a wide receiver. And also, I know this sounds kind of crazy, they need a corner because they don't know the situation is going on with Snead. So the corner situation is going to be available also. So it's a great spot for the Tennessee Titans. But if they do something crazy and draft somebody that we didn't have them on the board at 35, that's where it's going to be a problem.
What if you could talk to Cam Ward? We're talking to Chris Sanders on the Chase and Big Joe show. If you could talk to Cam Ward and say, all right, for the next 2 weeks, I need you to do this. What would this be?
It will be just be coachable. I mean, I'm not saying he's not coachable now. Just be coachable. Soak in all the information. Listen to your quarterback coach. Listen to the head coach. Listen. Just really listen. I know a lot of times we as athletes, especially this day, we always want to talk and say, "Oh, I know how to do that. I see the cover too. I see this." But just sit and take notes and listen. I remember listening to an interview with Ray Lewis and Reed. They said that every time they came to the meeting, they would have their notebooks taking notes so they could understand what to do. So the same thing with Cam Ward, just listen and take a whole bunch of notes. And then another thing I would ask them, don't be afraid to ask questions, because a lot of times we as athletes, elite athletes, are afraid to ask questions because they think it's dumb or acting like they know it and everything. So if Cam Ward can come in and listen, be coachable, and apply what he's learning in the classroom and do it on the field, guess what? We got something special.
Well, if you could talk to him, just decide and say, look, here's what to expect. You talk about how you got drafted and your world, your head was spinning left and right. What's the one thing you tell him? What's the one thing you tell him away from the field?
The one thing I would tell him is you got to surround yourself with people that love you for you. Because listen, I can do this and I can do that. I got your back. But the ones that say they got your back is the one that's stabbing you in the back. So just surround yourself with people that love you for you, don't want anything away from you. Surround people that want to see you succeed, not just as a football player, but succeed as a man. That's exactly what I tell them, because everybody's going to say, Cam, give me this. Cam, give me that. I got your back. I love you. I'll never let nobody, take advantage of you, but you're the one taking advantage of it. So surround yourself with people that love Cam for Cam.
Would you have him move here immediately? Like, all right, say goodbye to Miami,
Right.
get here, let's get going.
Like today, right when he got drafted, there's a house waiting for him right there.
I think he's on the way here, or he's here already.
Yeah. We have a house, we have anything, because now you can just worry about football. Have some people that you trust, take care of all that stuff. Now you come in, now it's strictly football. Now it's going to be a media circus of doing interviews and all these things. But just don't get overwhelmed with that. Take your time out, get your home, let people take care of that, and just rest in the hard work that you worked hard to get.
Well, we'll see what they do tonight, Chris.
Yeah.
Thanks for your
Yes, sir.
coverage last night. We appreciate it, and we'll talk next week.
Appreciate y'all so much. Sounds good, brother. Bye-bye.
He is Chris Sanders, Forever Titans wide receiver. And again, we'll have night 2 of draft night in Nashville. It'll be yours truly and Joe Rexrode at Boombahs in East Nashville starting at 6 o'clock. So come by and see us and hang out with us as we go through rounds 2 and 3. Night number 2, our draft. And you can watch us on our social channels on Twitter, YouTube, on theGameNashville.com. We have Sounds coverage and Vanderbilt coverage, so you can listen on Sports Talk 830, and then we'll join on either 94.9 or 102.5 once one of those two events are done. But it's all presented by Hardee's, Parma Tractor and Equipment, Twin Peaks, Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, Shane Co., and Professional Home Improvements. More of the draft reaction next here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Trade offers that you got for number one?
You know, I did want to listen because I think you have to do your due diligence and listen. And I did that. But, you know, I think we came to a decision that, you know, we weren't going to move off that pick and we wanted Cam.
What made you so convinced? I mean, the reports of the compensation was pretty high. What made you so convinced that you should pass that up and have him be the guy that you?
Well, I just think if you identify a franchise quarterback, there's really not a price that you can pay for that in my mind. Like I always said, that's the most important position on all of sports. And, you know, if you come to a consensus, and we did, that he has the potential to be that, like I said, he's a young quarterback and he still has a lot of things to work on. But I think the intangibles with him, his work ethic, his want to become better, you know, we felt comfortable with that.
Did those trade offers come?
That was Mike Bergonzi, Titans general manager, last night, talking about his new quarterback, Cam Ward. Welcome back in, Chasing Big Joe, live at the Omni National Hotel at Kitchen Notes today. You know, I listened to those clips and I listened last night, and I hope he's right. I want him to be right, but he has convinced, and look, he knows what a game-changing franchise quarterback looks like. He was with the Chiefs for a long time. I mean, he was a part of that process when Mahomes was drafted. And he said it. He goes, I'm not saying he's Patrick, but like he's saying he sees the right traits and the work ethic and those things. I hope he's right. I really hope he's right.
Well,
I want this to work out for them. I want this to work out for Cam Ward, but I mean, we've seen it go the wrong way too many times that I think it's hard for people to be positive and to have that hope, but I hope he's right.
Stop being a doubting Thomas, man.
My name's Chase.
Look, now we get the benefit of the doubt, right? He knows more than we do, which he should. So the benefit of the doubt. Now I know it's a theme, and you probably get tired of hearing that. Build around him. You have a foundation. A foundation doesn't go anywhere if you don't build around that foundation. So go out and at 35, don't take a safety at 35.
They're not doing
Don't take a rush into 30. Take somebody that can complement your guy, tight end, receiver. I'd like to see a nice tight end out there to go and move down the field with.
Well, Arroyo's there.
You know, I keep hearing people talk to me like, hey, you're in sports talk about the draft. The one person that brings up from last year I hear about all the time the Titans should have taken all the time.
Who?
Brock Bowers.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree.
The time. So now go find a similar Brock Bowers out there. Who's the guy you just said?
Elijah Arroyo, his tight end from Miami. He's there.
Is he good?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not. He's, you know, if you look at some rankings, they have him right around 35, 36.
Right. Be that workhorse. Come in here. You know what you got to do, but be that guy for him to go.
If they move back, this is the scenario there. Move back to like 39 or 40, get more picks. If one of the receivers is still there, then okay. If not, and one of the edge rushers in there, then I'm cool you taking him.
Okay. If
he's
somebody will dance with you, I don't think anybody will, because now the Titans are on the other end, and now teams know a little desperate.
But right now, you got Cleveland at 33. I think they're taking Shedeur, but I could be wrong.
Why are you so convinced of taking him?
Because they need a quarterback. And now they're out of the first round. I don't know. I just feel like they could. They also have pick 36.
Wow.
Wide receivers, Higgins, Trey Harris, Luther Burden are all still there. Edge rusher, Mike Green, who's kind of fallen out of Marshall. Donovan Ezeraku, he's still there.
Yeah, let's do the Mike Green thing once. He's the Mike Mamula. I don't know if you know who that is, but go back and look up Mike Mamula. You'll see. I mean, the guy was okay at Marshall, right? I mean, and then he goes to the combine and explodes. So I got all this tape on this guy. If you're not dominating at Marshall as a rush end and you think you go in the first second, then I'm passing on you. I'm moving on.
Right.
You know, and that same thing, you go back, you know, and that same kind of.
I would take Ezeraku. If I'm taking an edge rusher at 35, I would take Ezeraku.
Where's he from?
Boston College. He's the one that Chris was talking about that had 16 sacks last year.
Okay. All right.
So that's what I mean, I would prefer a receiver, but if one of those guys, are gone, see that here's the other thing. I kind of feel like you could roll the dice, move back, and Higgins is probably still there.
Mrs. Higgins, do it. I mean but who? Now the Titans are desperate. Now they were trying to move out of this so they can get. I'm not trading with you.
I don't think they're desperate. I think they are content.
No, other teams look at you like, all right, they want to move out. What do you got?
Right.
Well,
No, but I think they're content picking or they're content trading. Like they're good either way.
I don't think they do anything. I think they pick at 35. They're not going to go and bite on the Giants, offering them everything under the moon in New York City. Then by the way, real quick, the marathon's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then so there's a lot of marathon people walking around and a lot of really in shape people down here today.
Yeah. So you feel.
No, I'm just looking out our window to the world. And
I thought they were making you feel bad as you have a full plate of eggs.
No, I feel great. I feel great. It's just that the eye candy downtown Nashville is perfect right now. Anywho,
Big Joe on the go. Leave me out of it.
No, I'm just telling you, they've trained hard. They've worked hard for the marathon. I mean, it's just good for them. Be a fun day tomorrow for that. Look, if the Titans aren't trading when New York offers them everything, then I don't think at 35 they're going to do it. I'd be shocked to do. Go out and get that receiver. Now you've got a quarterback, you've got a receiver, you build some things right there. Look, this sounds stupid. This sounds stupid. You're going to laugh at me. But then you have to outscore the teams, right, to win games.
Right.
Add more weapons on offense.
Yeah.
And that's why I get Jared Yelp in the last 2 years with Skoronski. And I get all that. And now give me something to go with that. Give me that receiver. You got the quarterback now.
You have the golden goose.
Especially because you have, you've added a receiver, a free agent receiver in Tyler Lockett, which I think is a good move and going to help you. You still need to draft one. I would still address that in this draft. To me, it's a no-brainer. If you get to 35 and you haven't traded out, and Luther Burden is sitting there at 35, you cannot get the card turned in fast enough.
You were running.
You run up there. You run up to Roger himself and hand him the draft card.
Okay, I'm with that. Just give me something to help him out. Go down the road with. You need buddies, man.
Yep. I feel like it would be a no-brainer. Now, then the question would be, can they work something out where they could get back into tonight? Which I think they could. They got 2 4th-round picks. You can always use some stuff from last year and then try and move into the 3rd round.
I'd give somebody my 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th to move into the 3rd. That way you keep it 4th. So you end of the day, you got 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. We talk, man. Those 5th and 6th rounders ain't hitting.
Yeah,
they
but I
ain't
would give up that much, but that's fine.
So I'm not dealing with you anymore.
We're fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Lose my number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gladly.
So you would not give up if to move in the 3rd round, a nice spot. If I said, give me your 4th, you got a 4th rounder.
No, because you sit here and you say that those 6th and 7th rounders never amount to anything. Let me call Cortland Finnegan and Blaine Bishop and tell them
that they hit. It's less than 10%.
I understand that, but they do hit.
The 4th rounder is going to hit better than the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounder, or the 3rd rounder is. I don't want a 7th rounder.
Wasn't David Stewart a 5th rounder?
4th or 5th, yeah. But those are few and far between. I'm telling you, man.
I know, but you still.
I told you this.
I'm not giving. I mean, did you see what Atlanta did last night?
I didn't. They got James Pierce, right?
They got James Pierce, and I liked the pick, but what they gave up to get him was stupid.
Stone Mountain. What else?
They
Coca-Cola Museum.
Yeah, and somehow they gave up Rock City, which that's not even
down the road, man.
no, but they gave up next year's 1st,
ouch,
and this year's 2nd to move up or something like that to move up into the 1st round. But I'm like, you're going up you're giving up a 1st round pick to go get him.
Who did they do that with?
I think it was Tampa.
The Rams.
Oh, it's the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
The Rams.
I'll say in their own division.
Thank you.
Pass.
Yeah.
It's the Rams.
And I like the pick. I like James Pierce. Nothing against him, but just I think they gave up way too much to move into that spot.
Yeah, I mean that's quite a bit. But again, I mean you got your guy. That's why I think tonight, if you get hey everybody out there, if you get your guys, goodness, pull the blind down, will you, somebody? Let me turn my chair around and face the corner. That is so damn loud in my ear.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Joe's gonna
Shoot that thing.
Joe's gonna need a defibrillator here soon. All right, thank you.
What's the one right above that? The turquoise.
The-
Oh, it's the fantasy land,
Yeah.
which I'm in most of the time. I'm telling you,
we
man.
just need this in the studio.
No, we don't. Trust me, we don't need that.
Oh, here it does some other things
Oh, no.
too. I forgot that it does this.
What else? Give me one more.
We can do this. Hey.
You sound like Dr. Crane.
Hey, I don't
Okay.
sound like an
Okay.
alien.
Oh yeah, well, that's kind of a fun one.
Oh,
We have you surrounded. Come out now. So yeah,
what's that cost?
um,
Couple $100.
yeah,
Man.
it's cool. I mean, this is my home studio that I just brought out today.
Oh my gosh. Are you bringing that to Boom Boss tonight?
No, we'll have the other things set up.
Okay.
Coming up next, we'll get to your calls and your texts. Continue to talk draft. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game.
Plan to start him right away?
We'll see. We don't need to worry about that till September. I think he's got a lot of work to do, and we're going to do the requisite work. But I don't think we need to get into naming starters and talking about all that. He's got his work ahead of him, and we'll name starters in September.
There you go. That was Brian Callahan last night when I asked that question. I mean, look, you got to ask the question. You got to answer the question.
Yeah.
And he gave the right answer. I mean, don't anoint him on day one, day zero. It's not even day one.
What'd your friend Dennis Green say that one time? If you want to crown,
crown them. They are who we thought they were.
Still the best.
We let him off the hook. Damn it.
Oh, man.
What's wrong with you, you son of a...
I'm gonna have too much fun. This is the rest of the show. What we're going to
do the entire show, man.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. Wes in Hermitage has a comment on the draft. Hello, Wes. How you doing?
Oh, happy Friday, guys. Yeah, it was a big surprise last night when the Titans went out there and drafted Ward. I had no idea, so that caught me a little off guard. My second round pick here, I don't necessarily know, and I want y'all's opinion on this. Is the backlash about Luther Burden, is it really carrying that much weight? Because that's who I want, but I know that we also need a tight end. So, like, what is it that's got Luther Burden falling so low, and is it too much of a risk for the Titans to take him, given everything that's going on with L'Jarius Need? I say need because he has no needs, but yeah.
Look, I don't know what the thing is, and evidently it's something that's kept him falling that way. But look, there's a lot of tackles went in the draft last night, a lot of guys and positions you normally don't see, and so I think the receiver, maybe like, all this going to go now, we'll get him later on. I don't know. That's a great question, and I don't know. But if he's there at 35, take him. He falls into your lap, take him. But I don't know what concerns out there they might have with his. I don't know. I have no idea.
Thanks for the call. Yeah, I mean, look, is there a true concern on character, or is he a diva wide receiver? And like I say, I don't say that in a mean way. I mean, like Derek and Chris will tell you. I mean, like their receivers are, they're confident and cocky at times, and there's times you got to deal with that stuff. I mean, it's other positions too. If that's what it is, then you can figure that out. If he's talented enough, I mean, A.J. Brown, prime example, got on Twitter too much, but he didn't cause a lot of problems in the locker room, from what I've been told.
No.
So, I mean, if Burden if Burden can be a game-changing guy for you to pair with Ridley,
right,
then do it.
You got a problem with the guy who comes in and says, "Give me the ball." I mean, I want the ball. Me neither. I don't know why people get so upset about that.
No, Derek has told so many stories of. Well, one of my favorite was Rick Neuheisel was on with us. Neuheisel was his receiver, either OC or receivers coach or something in Baltimore. And there was a great story that he told about Derek getting pissed off that he wasn't getting the ball enough.
Damn it, Derek! And
yelling at Neuheisel to get him the damn ball. And it's like that. Okay, I want that. Like, you want a receiver that's like, no, I'm good. Give it to the other guy.
Yeah. Oh, if I don't get any catches and the team wins, I'm off about that. Look, I get that saying, but if you're a receiver and you got a position to make an impact in a game like that, I want the football. I don't know why people have a hard time with that. I want the football. Were you surprised Jackson Dart did get drafted before Shedeur?
That he did get drafted before Shedeur? No.
You weren't?
Not at all. I just felt like it was going that way.
Man.
And I think the Giants, good for the Giants. They got it, and I love how everybody's like, well, it worked out well for them with a quarterback from Ole Miss before.
I like that voice.
Well, yeah, they got a quarterback from Ole Miss, and he's going to be the next Eli Manning. That's what people are talking about. So.
Oh my gosh!
I feel like this is like a ransom call.
It sounds just like a ransom call. Bring some meatballs and you'll get it. So I had to laugh this. So Shador Sanders had a tweet yesterday that says, I'm ready for whatever today brings.
Yep.
And somebody quoted
What about tomorrow? I know. Here's the thing. Are you okay? please be okay.
My gosh. I'm so sorry about that.
This is what Dion's done to us, though. I don't think it's like everybody's mad at Shador. It's more Dion that it's like people are rooting for him to fail now. And I hate that. Like I hate that for a person.
Now, what was Mel Kiper doing? Was he
was basically he was just slobbering over Shador.
And the fact he didn't get drafted was just killing him?
So Kiper's just getting beat up for it.
Okay, well, but you're passionate about it. Good for him. Oh, man. Whew.
We need to trade for one of the top 4 picks in the second. Great talent there, first-round talent. Well, I mean, you're there at 35.
Oh, you caught yourself. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
You're better the old we.
Yeah. You're there at 35. That's what we're talking about. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have draft coverage tonight. Draft night in Nashville at Boomboss in East Nashville. Joe Rexroad and yours truly will be there. We'll have some people stop by. What are you doing tonight? You want to come by?
I'd love to, but I got to play.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got that going for sure. So we look forward to that. Coming up next, it is time. What day is it? And celebrity birthdays. But join Robbie Stanley and 102.5 The Game from 10 to 2 tomorrow at Coleman Tractor in White House. Kubota Orange Day is going on. Exclusive deals on compact tractors, zero-turn mowers, and more with special financing available. The sale runs from 9 to 2 with demos, deals, giveaways, and lunch from 11 to 1. Coleman Tractor, White House, 3631 Highway 31 West. That is tomorrow. What day is it? Celebrity birthdays next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Jason Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game here on this Friday at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Hope it's a great weekend. If you're in town running the marathon, or if you're a local running the marathon, good luck to you. I got a few friends running it. Shout out to Katie Myers, who was on with us yesterday. She's going to run it. So I know you've done it a few times.
Few times, buddy. 15 times to be exact.
But not this year.
No, half marathon.
Yeah, half.
Yeah.
You say I have to do it when I'm 40, so you're gonna do it with me then?
I'm telling you, when you cross that finish line in the marathon or half marathon, however it is, you change and for the better. And something happens inside of you, accomplish this goal. You know, the older we get, the less goals we have out there to accomplish. So this is a big one. And once you do it, man, I'm telling you, you'll feel amazing.
With that, speaking of amazing, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays. And it is brought to you by our friends at Jarrett Companies, Inc. Above and beyond industry standards, electrical services, electrical installations, electrical inspections, upgrades, and replacements. Visit them at jarrettcompaniesinc.com. Dr. Green?
All right, gentlemen. First on the list, we have Child Care Professionals Day. Shout out to those. DNA Day is today. So, you know, all the molecules and whatever that is. East meets West Day. You could do the East-West Shrine Bowl. Let's see. Hairstylist Appreciation Day. Shout out to my mom. Let's see. Holocaust Remembrance Day. International Financial Independence Awareness Day. Let's see. National Arbor Day. National Crayola Day. Big old Crayola market. Did you guys ever have the Crayola, screw or whatever you call it? The pencil screw or whatever it is? I forget.
Excuse me?
Called. You know, that
no.
sharpens it, the pencil sharpener.
What kind of house you grow up in?
Oh, the pencil. It's called a pencil sharpener.
Sorry. I'd always use a straight edge and just,
a screw.
Good Lord.
I just get a screw and just like use it as a
easy, buddy.
Words-
This is a family show.
Words are hard, Dr. Green.
Yeah, they are.
And you do the show with the damn boss.
Well,
Come on.
it was the actual working screw, drywall screw. Never mind.
Okay.
National Mani-Pedi Day. That's something Joe does on a weekly
Does he
basis.
play for the Braves?
No, it's something with your nails.
He's a
or
race
something.
car driver.
National
Mani-Pedi.
Zucchini Bread Day. That sounds delicious. National Steak Day. Hey, how about that? Some good old red meat.
How about that?
Hey, how about that steak? Ain't there something?
Parental Alienation Awareness Day. Red Hat Society Day. World Malaria Day. And to wrap it up, gentlemen, shout out to our wonderful mascot of the show, Kong. World Penguin Day.
Shout out to our penguin. What Kong is doing today. I'll have to check in later on.
Dr. Green, how were you on that one?
Oh, it was great. It was loud. Broke my eardrum.
Good. I just want a camera on you when you get like Dr. Crane is very jumpy.
Yes.
So, you kind of catch him off guard. He about flies out of his chair. and
Should have
it's
saw me
very
last Saturday
entertaining.
at the crawfish boil. Oh, boy.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
I bet.
Sure it was good.
Dr. Crane, for $1, is Gene Shalit alive or dead?
He's alive.
Add $1. Good job. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. You know the game. You get these birthdays within 2 years. Our first birthday, the talented, the amazing Al Pacino. How old is Al Pacino today?
81.
84.
85.
Oh, wow. Good job, Dr. Crane.
You better have got that, Dr. Crane.
Oh, yeah.
No one come from. Our second birthday, Hank Azaria. Today's Hank Azaria's birthday.
It's 74.
70.
61 years old.
Oh, wow.
Foster Brooks right there. My dear friend Renee Zellweger. Today's her birthday from Jerry Maguire and Bridget Jones's diary.
57.
58.
56. Tied at 1. All right. Today, Adrian Talia Shire, who, by the way, played Al Pacino's sister in The Godfather. How old is Adrian today? Adrian Balboa.
67.
All 3 Godfather movies, by the way. I'm going to go
Dang.
71.
She's 80 years old.
Wow.
She's 80 years old today. From My Name is Earl, Jason Lee has been in a bunch of things.
57.
53.
55. That's a push. The lead guitar player for the band Erasure, Andy Bell. Good old Andy Bell.
56.
60.
61. Dr. Crane's up 2-1. All right, time for little sports birthdays. D'Angelo Williams, former Memphis running back, played in the NFL for a while. D'Angelo Williams. He played at Memphis.
Every time throw me off on that.
Yeah, man, I would have saw Liberty Bowl a few times. I got spotted and recognized over there, so I had to go back home. I got out of there.
I'm gonna say he's 41.
40.
42. Chase with that weird ass voice. He ties it 2-2. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. How old is Adam Silver?
59.
57.
63. Dallas Cowboys safety cornerback Darren Woodson, who tried to shut down our boy Derek Mason a few times.
Yeah.
Tried is the operative word.
54.
58.
56. That's a push. We're tied at 2. Joe Buck. Joe Buck. How old is Joe Buck? Buck stops here.
62.
64.
Dude's 56. All right. Tim Duncan. Have you seen Tim Duncan lately with the dreads?
No.
He looks
Is he a
pretty
coach now?
He looks pretty cool. He was at one of the Spurs games in the stands. Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan, 48.
It is kickboxing. I'm going to go 49.
49 exactly. Dr. Crane's at 4-2. Former MTSU running back DeJuan Hicks. Should have beat Alabama. Did he not fumble with MTSU fan? He fumbled against Alabama.
I think so.
Like 02 or 03. God, they had him beat too.
46.
58.
44. 4-3. Final birthday. Friend of the show. Super Bowl champion. Sportscaster. Played guard for the 49ers. Randy Cross. How old is Randy Cross?
65.
63.
Dr. Crane at the buzzer. You missed it. Well, you did win. 4-3. Sorry, right there. Chase.
What about Mighty Mike? Is he not on the list?
Mighty Mike who?
Michael Van Gerwen.
Some dart weirdo you're friend with. Explain this guy's name.
Michael Van
Or who he is.
Gerwen. He's from, believe he's Belgian/Netherlands hybrid, whatever that is. But yeah, he's like world
European.
number 3.
In?
Professional darts. He's in Premier League darts along with the PDC. Does the Professional Darts World Championship. I think they're going to be in New York, if I'm not mistaken, in July.
Oh, we got to get you up there then.
This will be fun. Luke the Nuke Littler,
Well, you went-
the youngster.
Okay, enough. You went 4-3 day. Proud of you, buddy.
Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
Congratulations, Dr. Crane. That'll do it for us. More draft reaction is coming up next on DVD.
Hey, we do this message every day because we love you guys and want you to know, like, we all go through some things and you feel sometimes like the world is crushing around you. But listen, you got to reach out. You got to talk to somebody and know that we're here for you on your cell phone. You can call or text 988. I'm telling you, I've called it. They're there. They're compassionate. They help you. They'll talk to you. So please reach out. Just know that we love you. And if something happened to you, you would be tremendously missed. And know that we tremendously love you. And we are here for you. So if you need to talk anytime, we will stop what we were doing and talk to you if you need help. Because remember, we love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.